Right guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the easiest and most effective SMMA outreach method for lazy people. Tom, are you a lazy person? And is this for you?
I'm not a lazy person, but I know a fucking load of them. However, we get a lot of people who always come to us saying, "Oh, I can't cold call because I'm based here," or I just don't have time to cold call because I've got another job and all this other stuff, or I can't send DMs and blah, blah, blah. How do I find leads? You get all these type of questions. This is actually a really effective method to get clients. It's crazy good, but it is for the people who you kind of don't want to go that extra mile. Because actually, what I'm about to explain to you, I could easily call this guy, but I'm not going to call him because I'm a lazy dude. Let's pretend. So let's pretend I'm super lazy, I'm a slob, but I want to be really successful in SMMA. And actually, this does work. So let me show you something right now. If you're based in the UK or the US, this is probably more, or even in Europe, you're probably more familiar with this. When you live in a local community, okay, you will often get through the post, like the community, what we call magazine or brochure, pamphlet. That sort of thing that comes through. It looks kind of like this, right? This is about firework night. It's November the 4th. So today is firework night. But, this has lots of things about church. It could be a church magazine. It's got lots of things about what's going on in the community right now. It's got things like who's died and, what a lovely person they were and stuff like that. And then like babies and toddler groups for mums to go to. It's the community hub mag. Simple. What's interesting about this is that businesses in the local area advertise on it. Okay. And they tend to be like, if I just show you the back page, I don't know if you can see, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can't see. So I'll describe it to you. But if you're watching it on YouTube, you can see there's ads in the back page, not just in the back page, throughout this magazine, there are little ads. I'm going to read some out to you. Okay. Just to describe it to you for the podcast. It's a very small brochure, but the ads on the back are like broken up into boxes, okay, with the company's logo, what they do, and a mobile number or contact number. Super effective. Now, the bit we want out of all this, Harry, is what?
The name and the phone number.
The name and the mobile phone number. The mobile phone number. This means you don't even have to get off your toilet to do outreach, right? So let's, as an example, on the back of here, the very first one is Greenside Landscaping. Okay. Now, what does this guy do? Well, I'm going to tell you. He does artificial grass. Now, let me tell you something now from experience. Artificial grass is not cheap. It's fucking good because you get an all-weather-proof garden. So if you've got kids like I do, you can pay, and this is true, I paid £7,500 for not a very big garden. It's flat. It's bigger than a postage stamp, but it's £7,500. And I turfed the whole thing. Then I went a bit over the top and I wanted like sleepers. And then the guy was such a good salesman. He was like, "Why don't you have these plants growing out? Like have an apple tree in the corner." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's have an apple tree in the corner." And it was like an extra 150 quid. And I was like, "Oh my God." So it's not cheap. So artificial grass is actually high ticket and it's super in demand. Then this guy also does driveways. Let me tell you something now. My mum and dad paid recently, 12 months ago, they paid £19,500 for a brand new driveway. Yes, their driveway was fucked, and this now looks amazing, but high ticket. This guy does high ticket jobs. Okay. He also does decking. Now, decking's a big thing, of course. He does garden designs, patios. He does planting. He mows your grass if you want it, and he does seeds and all sorts of other shit. That's important. However, the most important thing is his email address is on here, and his first name is Paul because he's got that in his email address, and he's got his mobile number, which I could read out, but we're going to do the outreach ourselves, me and Harry. But that's one lead where I've got the guy's first name and mobile number, and I know what he does, and I know where he's based, and he's only down the road from me. So we're going to text him, and we're going to do it now on the call. So I've actually, before we recorded this, I put the guy's number in my phone. You can't see it, but there he is. Like in WhatsApp, his picture is there. Okay, so I actually even now know what the guy looks like. How mad is this? So this is also a thing which you now need to remember is if you're going to do outreach from WhatsApp to WhatsApp, your profile picture counts. Okay. So if you are hanging upside down, smoking a fat spliff, let's maybe think about changing it. Yeah. Just for shits and giggles, let's just change that profile picture to maybe one of you smiling, or even better, maybe you're wearing a suit or you look like kind of dapper. And if you're a woman listening to this, just make, a nice picture where you're looking professional. Okay. Because believe me, it'd be the first thing to look at. And also on WhatsApp, your name goes in there. Don't have like Tom XX heart and like emoji after it. Fucking hell. They never reply to you. You want to be professional, just put your full name in. Okay. You could even put your full name in and then the name of your business after it in brackets. Up to you. But let's text this guy now. Okay. His name is Paul. He is on WhatsApp. I won't give you his full details because this is bad. I'm going to do, hi, Paul. Hope you are well.
Yeah. So it's so important when you're doing the outreach like this, you have to tell them, make yourself stand. Yeah. Like where you saw them, an opinion on the ad. Because obviously if they're advertising in these local magazines, they need customers. That's what's so good about this method is they're in the local area. So you have that in common. They need more customers. Otherwise they wouldn't be paying to be in those magazines because you have to pay. So, and hopefully they're high ticket, you find out their mobile number and their name. There's like so many tick boxes there. So even better if you're not lazy, this is for lazy people to go onto WhatsApp. But if you're not lazy, cold call them. It's even better.
Personally, mate, like I would give this geezer a call and just be like, hey, Paul, just seen you advertise. Look, I'm not here to buy anything from you, but I do want to talk to you about how you get new clients because I work with people, blah, 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 blah. I'll just ring him and have a chat. He'd be a cool guy. Yeah. And also I know how to fucking cold call because I'm devastating at it. So for me, it would just make sense to do that. However, I'm just constructing a little text message because let's not forget, I'm a lazy person. So I want to, so far I've written, I won't go into all detail. Hi, Paul. I've asked him if he's well. No question, because I don't want to question. I'm just saying, hope you are well. I've seen you advertise I've taken your number down. What you do is interesting to me. I wanted to reach out. This is what I do. So let me just finish this bit. You can carry on talking in a sec, Harry. And I'll finish it off and you can just fill the gap.
Well, I mean, this is it's such a good method for lazy people. Like it's like a catalog of people in your local area that are advertising. So they're super warm leads. Hopefully you can pick that they're high ticket if you just choose the niche that sell high ticket products and services. And then you've got them in your bank to follow up with. But like we say, you can email them, WhatsApp them, cold call them, do all of the above, find them on LinkedIn, and just have that multi-outreach strategy if you want to go more into depth. But like we said, this video is for lazy people. So get the magazine, just go through and just use it as kind of just, a warm interest pot of good leads.
I do want people to see, like, it's not a 2-line, hey, like I'm a marketing agency. I'm not trying to sell to this guy. Can I just make that clear on the call, right? Okay, so I've basically, in a nutshell, these are the pointers that I've actually put in. Okay, so I said, hope he's well, where I saw him, all right, took his number down. This is what I do, where I'm based, and how I find his work is interesting for getting leads. Very briefly touched on, in like 2-3 words, the type of thing that we do. Said, we'd love to have an informal discussion. There's a bit I put in here, which I teach our students just to demonstrate your value. And then a couple of things to make him feel at ease. And it's kind of the ball's in his court. And that's it. And I'm going to send it. So I'll send it. And if we're still chatting about this, he might come back to me.
Yeah. See if he replies before we end this video.
Right. Well, it's gone. So I don't know if you can see, but I have texted him the message.
Yeah. Okay. That's so good because explain the benefits of reaching out on WhatsApp, mate.
The benefits of reaching out on WhatsApp is you can, obviously they can then see you are a real person. Okay. You can then see, you can, it's a much more informal way without interrogating them. If you've got read receipts on, you can see if they've read the message or not. Now, what my advice would be is if you have there is something called WhatsApp for Business. You can't have personal and WhatsApp for Business. You have to turn your WhatsApp into WhatsApp for Business. But if you're serious about it, you could turn your WhatsApp into WhatsApp for Business, have information about your business in there, have your services you offer, your logo, it all goes into WhatsApp Business. And when you're reaching out to people, you it's like much more professional.
Yeah.
So if you're based out of the country, if you're in a developing country, for me personally, this is actually the only route that you could go down, in my view.
Yeah.
Other than like LinkedIn and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the biggest benefit of doing what you're doing there is contacting them on their mobile, because you're speaking to Paul, the owner. Contacting them with his mobile, so you're going to get a response. You're not contacting Joe, his son, who's an employee that isn't a decision maker. You're speaking directly to the decision maker on his mobile. When he goes on WhatsApp to message his wife back, when she asks what you're doing tonight, he's going to see a message from Tom.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that is how he's nailed it. Like I've now contacted the decision maker.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a text there. It's not him.
I thought that was going to be him.
It's my girlfriend, but that was my heart drop there. That goes to show. Yeah, so I've now reached out to the decision maker, the owner of the business. You could ring 100 dentists and not get as far as that. Let me tell you. But well, you can. There's other ways. There's ways in which we teach to get around gatekeepers, but and we have dentists, but they're not impossible. They're not out of reach. But this is very much within grasp. And I've also made a connection with this guy about where I live. I've said I'm local. Now, if you're not local, don't worry, it doesn't matter. You can actually address that and say you're not local to a degree, but you are looking to work with that area.
Yeah.
So really interesting. But let me just very quickly, whilst we're just going to wrap this video up, that wasn't the one ad in this. I wish my mic would just sit nicely on my lap. Okay, so stay. Yeah, so there's one there, right? I'm just going to go through. You can't see on the podcast, but let me just show you what else is in here. Okay, so we have a family business, 35 years experience. This guy, his name's not there, but I do have a mobile number, 07818 00 blah, 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 blah. He does extensions, roofing, plumbing, plastering, carpentry, turfing, bricklaying, stonewalling, painting and decorating, free estimates and advice, right? He's got a mobile number there. I'll be texting him in a minute. We've also got a physiotherapist and a sports injury clinic. Now, I actually even know exactly where this business is. It's in a business park, which I could walk to in 5 minutes. She's got her mobile number there and her name is Louise. Louise would love me, mate. Come on.
She would. She really would.
I'm going to get a text, but she would love me. Then we've got here chartered accountants. Now, that's an interesting one because that's kind of high ticket because chartered accountants aren't cheap. We have alterations for like suits and stuff. So I'm just going back through. Here we go. Now we get into more pages. There's a bit about a woman who died. There's a bit about car parking responsibilities in the local village, blah, blah, blah. However, we've got another chartered accountants. Okay. We've also got birds build and landscaping, established in 1991. This person does free quotations. Work is guaranteed, got an email address, and a mobile number. And this person does turfing, fencing. Mate, it just goes on and on.
I know. And what's even more important to know about all of this stuff is that these people will be paying £250 to £600, depending on the reach of the magazine, to be in there. So a quarter page ad in my local magazine, I know this because one of my first clients advertised in it, was £250 for a quarter page ad, and then £550 for a full page ad. And like I said this in the previous video we did, the easiest way to deter them from putting their money into that ad spend is just by comparing the reach of that magazine to if that money was to put into your advertising platform. So you say, right, you're spending £500 on this magazine to reach 35,000 people in the local area. You can find out by the local magazine's website what the reach of the magazine is. Just say, right, you're paying that to reach this many people in this local area, completely untargeted. And when I say untargeted, I just mean those 35,000 people aren't all interested in Tom's fencing business. They're just people in the local area.
Yeah.
So what you can do is go onto the TikTok ads manager if you're running TikTok ads, YouTube ads manager, or Google ad manager if you're running Google ads, Facebook the same, and create an example ad set with that £500 and say, right, if you put that £500 you are putting into your local magazine, you put it onto Facebook, you'd get 120,000 reach, and they're all interested in fencing. So that is so easy to compare the better option, and it's just a no-brainer. If you do that and they don't immediately go, well, I'm not spending money on there, because I bet if you ask those people how much business they've got from it, they'll say none.
Well, funny enough, we won a client yesterday, right? Which we've been working on for a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And they advertised in a version of this slightly more popular, a bit more like a bigger region. They advertised it. And I said, what did you get back in terms of like leads? He went, no idea. And he said, to be honest, like even if we got a lead, we wouldn't know where it would come from anyway.
Exactly.
I was like, wow. And how much that cost you? Should I tell you how much that cost them, mate?
How much?
It cost them $4,500 for 6 months.
Our
fee was more than that, right? For a lesser period, but it's like way more effective. It's like wearing Nike boots compared to flip flops playing football. Do you know what I mean?
No, mate, it's a game changer. And when you ask most of these people, well, why are you in there then? 90% of the time they'll say, we just feel like we have to because our competitors are in it, and they for some reason they all feel compelled to do it with no actual backing of like why they're doing it.
This, just to finish on this, mate, like I've just gone through it. There's real estate, there's a couple of real estate agents which are local. There's a bathroom and wet room supply fitter. His work looks stunning. Fucking hell, like really nice. And his mobile's there, and his name's Paul as well. Weird. But there's loads and loads of different types of businesses here. We've got a chiropractor here.
That's the perfect one.
Yeah, like, so there we go. That's the end of this one. I'd say, Harry, we've gone through it. We've given a lot there for free, for nothing, because we want to help people, and we don't want people thinking it's a complete nonsense getting clients. It's actually so incredibly easy once you know the formula and you know 100%. the strategy that you personally need to implement. Mm-hmm. But fucking hell, I'm going to reach out to every single one of them. It's not, and that's unusual for me and you, because me and you don't do any of our own outreach anymore because we have a team that does it. But I'm going to personally reach out to them, because by the time I give that to the member of our team to do, I might as well do it myself. Yeah.
No, definitely. Well, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you've not watched our previous video, it was on the difference between Facebook ads and TikTok ads algorithm, how they both work, and which ones.
That was a good video.
Which ones we're putting our attention into. So yeah, if you've not watched that video, watch it. And if you've not subscribed, because like 70% of our watchers aren't subscribed. So drop the subscribe button
and listen to the podcast whilst you're driving.